This conference will now be recorded.
We'll see how we'll.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this regular meeting of the Vader City Council. It is Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. The time is 6:08 p.m. Roll call.
Jason Daly.
Here.
Nicole Hansen. Here. John Hurt.
Here.
Michael Ferguson.
Mr. Ferguson did ask to be excused for work reasons.
Mike Carson.
Here.
Mayor Shai.
Here, we have a quorum. Pledge of Allegiance. Please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mayor's report. Last week, before last, there was another concert in Murphy put on by Friends of Little Falls. I want to congratulate them on another successful event. And we're looking forward to the next event next month on September 27th. The annual Christmas tree lighting event and bazaar is December 6th. In the past, it was a Parks sponsored and Park Board sponsored and volunteer-led event. Fortunately, this year, so many members of the Park Board want to be actively planning that event. They can't, there's a quorum of people that want to do it. So if they were to get together outside of the meeting, they'd be violating the Open Public Meetings Act because they have to get together. You know, they'd be voting during Open Public Meeting on funds that they're requesting to spend. And so because of that, we've taken the event and made it just a general city event. And so whenever they have requests, they will come to City Council for approval instead of approving it themselves. That way, all of those people can get together and work together outside of an open public meeting. So it's a good problem to have. So you can expect to see them coming to you with requests in the not too distant future. Lewis County Sheriff's law enforcement contract. So we did have a meeting last week with Sheriff and the Undersheriff. We wanted to talk about the contract for the coming year, and because of costs and pay increases to the deputies, they're expecting a 20% increase to our contract, which is about $20,000 a year. We did have a couple council members that were able to come and talk to them as well. Wasn't unexpected, everything's going up, and between jail costs and payroll and everything else, it's expected. So we're gonna try to, we might reach out to some of the other law enforcement agencies in the area again, like we did a couple of years ago, to see if there's anybody that can do a better deal for us, but it's probably the going rate. So
I kind of think you sugarcoated that.
did I?
Yeah,
Mr. Parsons was at the meeting.
No, they didn't.
because the county and certain commissioners are trying to cut their budgets, law enforcement budgets, and which makes it even harder for them. So it's not just cost, it's the lack of the money going to the sheriff's department from the county. Was one thing that I heard. The other thing that I learned is the money that we pay to the sheriff's department doesn't go to the sheriff's department. It goes to the county general fund, which was quite hinky to me. They get to do the work and then they get to beg for the money from us and from the county to get it. So, but that's what I picked up.
Some things we can change and some things
We can just get mad about and let everybody
that are more
know.
difficult to change. So,
And get arrested.
City Hall phones and internet. So we fully migrated over the City Hall building here to PUD fiber internet and a voice over IP provider, which will save the city $1,500 a year over our previous CenturyLink contract. City finance software. We're researching a move to a cloud solution instead of the current way we do things. So right now, the clerk computer is a server, and then the software runs from there. And so if there was ever an issue with that one particular computer, then no one would be able to get to the financial software until it was fixed. That computer is 6 years old. It's starting to kind of feel a little antiquated. We're worried that it's going to start failing. And so we were trying to be proactive in replacing that hardware. We did get a quote from our provider that would be about almost $10,000 for a computer and the various Microsoft licenses needed to put on the new system, which seems like a lot of money. And so we're looking into some other options. So one of those options, the provider does have a cloud solution. So you would just sign into your web browser to get to our financial software, similar to your email or something like that. And then you wouldn't have to worry about the computer dying and buy off the shelf equipment. So we're looking into it. McMurphy Park, we're finalizing the grant agreement with RCO before starting any work. The first step will be a cultural resources survey where they go out and they do a few little digs out there and make sure that we're not digging into an ancient burial ground or something like that. And so that'll be the first step before any work actually starts. Old business, so still in progress. The home businesses research, we're waiting on the attorney to get back to us on that. Water system receivership extension, have a meeting coming up with Lewis County in a week or two to get their take on the extension. I know the commissioners are in favor of it. And the golf cart UTV code update to allow vehicles around town. Still working on all that stuff. Lastly, America 250, the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence is coming up next year. There's a state coordinator that wants to meet with the city to attempt to, and they're meeting with all the cities, to integrate that celebration with all of the normally happen annual events that would happen in the city. So you talk about May Day, 4th of July, things like that. And so they want to come down and they're going to have a meeting on September 2nd at 4 o'clock here to meet with any city staff, event organizers, things like that, to share ways that we could integrate that celebration into some of our already existing festivals. So if anyone's interested, that'll be here. I've already invited the lead event coordinators in our city to come to that. Council reports. Any members of the council have any reports this evening?
Do we have any news about the roads?
The roads. So HCON has wrapped up the water pipe project. They have outsourced the paving, which is probably what you're worried about,
Yeah.
to Lakeside. And I believe Lakeside will be here next week to do the paving. Wait, it's still August, isn't it? Next month. I believe it was like September 20th, 25th, I think is when they were scheduled to come and do all of that. So you'll see Lakeside here doing it. They've already done the state highway. They've noticed that they did the highway down by the railroad tracks, but they need to come back and do the rest.
Is that the same company?
No, it's Lakeside. It's not HCON.
HCON did along the highway.
Lakeside did along the highway.
Oh, Lakeside did do along the highway. Okay.
The paving portion only.
Are they going to, I heard one of the guys, I was talking with one of the guys and they said they're going to do some chip sealing over the paving. Is that accurate?
I don't have those details. I can find out for you.
He just, I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense, but I didn't know when they were going to do that. It was such a big project to do.
Yeah. It was September 25th, I think, was the date that Lakeside was scheduled to come do that work.
I just know
Coming up
that
very soon.
half of 10th Street is gone.
Well, 8th Street is one lane basically without being in the gravel, and then there's various intersections that just really stink. So.
Okay.
Yep. Soon. Any other council reports, questions? Okay. Moving on to agenda approval. I do not have any changes.
I make a motion that we approve the city council meeting agenda for August 20th, 2025.
A motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the agenda. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Give Mr. Hurt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes approval.
Make a motion that we approve the city council meeting minutes for July 16th, 2025 as written.
What about August 6th?
Oh, and for August 6th, 2025.
We have a motion by Mr. Daly to approve the minutes for July 16th and August 6th. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Parsons. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Voucher approval.
Make a motion that we approve the amended end of July vouchers, end of July 2025 vouchers of $44,708.88. The beginning of August 2025, $58,723.66. The end of August 2025, $17,717.49.
We have a motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the vouchers as stated. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Hurt. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Special reports, Lewis County Sheriff's Department. I know we're a little off this week. This isn't your normal week, so appreciate you being able to put something together for us.
Good morning. So for the month of July, there is 495 citizen contacts, 7 on-shift calls, 26 traffic stops, 7 infractions, 2 criminal citations, 7 on-shift calls, 27 off-shift, total of 34. That sums it up.
Questions for Mr. Rubin? All right, thank you.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
September 27th, the park, do we have a time for that? As far as
No, we meet on Friday, so I can let you know after that.
I believe it's an evening event.
Sounds great.
SBN planning, comprehensive plan update. James.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see you all again. I know it's been a while since I've been in here, I think. I'm going to lead with saying that there's nothing that council necessarily needs to vote on or approve or motion to do or anything like that at this time. But after the past couple of planning committee meetings, we addressed the inconsistencies in the future land use map and the zoning map with the city. The planning committee has moved forward with sort of their recommendation for updating the future land use map and zoning map in the city. And that's, what's in this proposal. And, there are some small tweaks that will still happen between now and when you're seeing the full plan. The mayor sent me some feedback on a couple community service parcels that we should designate. And there's some ongoing conversations there. But I wanted to make sure this made it into this packet, both so that you have an update on where we're at and where everything is, but also so that you can have sort of an early opportunity to provide feedback on these proposals for the future land use and zoning map. And the quick high-level overview of why this is all important is that your future land use map is really intended to be the sort of guiding document for development in the city. It leads to the creation of your zoning map, which then implements your development regulations, and that's sort of the quick pyramid of the comp plan, and it's relevant. So that's my quick version. I also provided just a general summary of all the changes in all the chapters. Yeah, if you have any feedback, if you have any questions, I am here to answer those questions and clarify anything that was unclear.
Can I just ask the process for asking questions? If I have a handful, can I email planning for the planning team after, or do we need?
Absolutely. If you have questions about the comp plan, you can email James directly about that.
Okay, perfect.
Council members can certainly do that. You have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
That's good. So I know the planning committee's been working on this quite a lot. SBN is at every one of their meetings going through the document thoroughly with them, talking about the future land use map, and generally the way we want to see the city grow in the future. And so there's been a lot of city work on this. And so I encourage you to come to planning committee meetings if you'd like to be in the know on that, or obviously you can talk to James whenever you need to.
Absolutely.
Anything else for SBN? No, it's a big packet, but nothing to vote on tonight. And James, what's the timeline for completion for the comp plan? What's left and where do we need to go?
What's left is actually a kind of a late group of edits as a result of there was a growth management hearings board decision, I think just a few days ago, or maybe in the past week or two, with regard to an ongoing appeal between the city of Mercer Island and an organization called FutureWise. The decision related pretty heavily to what goes into a comp plan, how we address housing affordability, how all of that analysis plays with a city's development regulations and their zoning map. So we are trying to quickly readjust a few things in response to the decisions made at this hearing. I can also tell you that, I was at the Planned Growth Committee meeting with Lewis County today. I would say people at that meeting were a little bit more, I don't want to use the word fear mongering, but I think they were making a much bigger deal out of the decision than maybe needed to be made. I will say that we are currently making edits that we think addresses the, concerns raised in that hearing. Other than that, the only edits that we're making at this stage are not substantive content edits. It's, making sure that all the tables are referenced properly and graphics are in the right place and things like that. So it should be out shortly. Like I said, that growth management hearings board decision definitely threw a wrench in our plans to have it out this week or last week, because there is just a little bit of additional review that we want to address. It is very unfortunate that this decision came so late in the process, but we want to get ahead of anything now rather than wait to see how this trickles through over the next several months.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions?
When do the results from that survey, now that we only had 69 people?
The results from the community survey?
Yeah.
They have them already, and I think they've integrated the survey results into the various parts of the comp plan. Isn't that correct, James?
That is correct. We also had a report of the public engagement that was conducted in the city more broadly. It was shared with the Parks Board and Planning Committee, and can certainly be shared with the council. I mean, it's a public document at this point. So if you'd like to take a look at that, you can certainly we can certainly provide that to you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else then, thank you, James.
Yep, thanks. Just real quick question, Mayor, do you want me to stick around for the annexation resolution or?
Yeah, I think we'll be there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, if you could, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I just wanted to make sure.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Next on the special reports, Celestine Shy with her proposal for the city shop mural as part of her Eagle Scout project.
So since I was last year, which it's been quite a while, I haven't been up here in front of you guys in a couple of months now. I have been working with a whole bunch of different people to come up with a design and also come up with my next steps for the mural I am designing that will be happening on the side of the Public Works building. So the building is, I got it measured out. It's a lot bigger than I thought. It's 70 feet by 11 feet. So it's going to be a really huge mural, a really big project, but I'm having a lot of fun with coming up with the design. So up here first, I have my photos of inspiration that were also my references for the design I came up with. So I've been researching a lot about the city's history, talking to people, looking in different history books online and physical stuff, and coming up with design ideas for my project. So I actually have council members here. If you'd like to look through it, pass it around. They are the images that I used to come up with the design itself. You can pull that up. So lots of things about the history. The main two things I found that were a big part of Vader were the old clay factory as well as the logging that we used to have here. So I'm going to be finding ways to incorporate that. I'm going to have a little clay pile next to these little boys I have sitting in front of an old storefront. And then I also have a wagon that is going to be pulling a bunch of lumber. And then that's the old opera house up there next to a photo of old Mr. Vader with his wife and his dog, as well as a slightly lower image of the jail itself and the old jail and Mount St. Helens poster version. And then here is my design.
Oh, wow.
There are some things I'm tweaking and editing with it still, but for the most part, the right side is completed, just about completely, other than a couple more tweaking things. I've been working on and off with people such as my high school art teacher and a couple other folks as well, including my mom and Nicole, to go over this design and make sure it actually looks good. And they said it looks good, which is great. So I've been going at it, having a lot of fun. This far right side of the mural, I've been working with some friends I have in the Cowlitz Indian tribe, and they've been helping me make sure that I make it as historically accurate as possible so I correctly depict their group. There are a couple things I'm going to be adding over there, including some ceremonial drums and whatnot that they've shown me, and paddles, which I think are really cool. So I'm learning more about the history of them as well. I have the falls right there, as well as St. Helens and the canoe. In the back there, you can kind of see the old school that used to be in Vader, and there's the wagon pulling wood, and horses in the opera house. And then we have the jail. In front of that is a maypole because May Day was a big thing back then and now. So I want to represent that using the maypole itself. There's a puddle on the ground. I'm going to be putting a sign in front of that, which is going to say Council Lake. That is because of an old image I found of these people standing in front of like a really big puddle or, I don't know, flooded or something, and they were fishing in it. So I'm going to make some people fishing in that big puddle there, and I'll put Council Lake in front of it. And then there is the old store I found. That one I like the most because I've never really seen a building shaped quite like that before, so I found it really intriguing. Then the old train station, and on the far left over there, we have the train, old Mr. Vader, and then a dog. So that dog there is based off of a story I heard, old husky dog. this dog that wandered around town, and apparently he somehow gotten into someone's alcohol, and so he was a real drunken dog. I thought it was a funny story. So I decided to include him as well. I'll be putting a pile of bricks next to those kids over there, and on top of the jail, I want to make a wagon because there was another story I heard of these teenage boys that got really bored one day. So they completely deconstructed, excuse me, this old man's wagon and rebuilt it on top of the store building. Hilarious. So I'll be incorporating that as well, and some later on smaller things that will be hidden within it for people to find.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So if there's any questions or anything, I'm planning on starting painting the wall because it's just been resided. Hopefully this weekend with the base coat of primer, I have some people who are going to be coming and help me spray it. And then after that, I'll be starting the drawing of everything on the wall. Sometime after that, hopefully, and I'm going to be using a projector that's going to be donated. I have donation stuff that I'm going to be setting up eventually. That way I can fund getting the paint and the food and stuff for my volunteers that are going to help me.
So I just have a couple comments. I want to say that I've chatted with Celestine about this project and I'm so excited. I've actually been on arts commissions at other cities and she's been so incredibly thoughtful about the research she's done about our town and the history and how she wants to incorporate that. So I'm really excited. It's pretty rare to get something this special and unique, so I think we should be really excited about it. Also, I would love it if you kept us abreast of the dates. So if we all want to show up and help paint, we would probably love to participate. And I asked Celestine if, when it was finished, if she'd be willing to let us videotape her telling the story of the history of the mural so we could put it up on our website, because I think it would be very cool to share it. She said that would be okay. So I'm going to hope that we could support her in that, because I think this would be a fun thing to share with people and encourage people to come visit our town and see our mural. So awesome. I love it. I'm really excited. Yeah.
More on the dates, I'm planning on making a Facebook page. That way people can see when we're going to be out there working and can help, and so folks can donate to the cause.
Perfect.
Cool. It's appropriate.
I just wanted to throw out that stuff she may have not mentioned quite as in depth as what she's focused on is every element, minus some of the creativity and the little pop part, is pulled out of an actual photo that she has found in relation to history. So, given a story, she's found a photo to be able to utilize certain elements to convey the person in the story. So.
If there's any questions on donations and stuff, I have my contact information after. If there's more questions, then you can come in.
Thank you very much.
Crazy.
That's going to look incredible.
I know.
Very
Very cool.
It's colorful. The last one
Cindy.
was just
Two-tone, yeah.
All right, moving into public comment. Do any members of the public have any comments tonight? All right. Mr. Joslin, I think you had your hand up first.
Perfect. That way I go home and go to bed.
That's right. Know what's in your mind.
Faster than 10.
It's getting close. Ken Joslin, I live on the corner of 7th and D Street. I've talked to 3 out of the 5 city council members about this. The last couple of months, I've been noticing when we've been sitting out on a Friday evening or during the summertime, we have a little bit more speeding problem. And so a couple meetings ago, the mayor and he mentioned to me that we can, there's some signs, some electronic signs for maybe thermal cut signs or something like that, that we could put down the street for speeding and going excessive speeding, because there was a couple of Fridays, probably about a month ago, and it was Friday night, and I swore this camper trailer and truck, it must have been doing 45 miles an hour down the street, and there's no way that somebody could stop that fast. I drive a truck that's 100,000 pounds, and you can't stop that fast. So, and we have little kids running out and stuff, and I know Castle Rock has some signs that they have that really catch you off guard, especially early in the morning, because all of a sudden you see some red and blue lights that catch you and think that.
Never noticed it.
So anyway, I would like to see if, and I'm sure there's maybe some state grants, or maybe we can talk to the state of Washington or the county or something about maybe getting some grants and for these signs. And there's a power pole right next to a sign, speed sign right outside my house. So I thought maybe we could get some draw power from that to keep it going. I know the sheriff last week, or 2 weeks ago, when I came to the city council meeting, he was talking about that we would have to check with the state of Washington for certain parameters, step back, stuff. So I don't know. I just want to throw that out there. And the three of you that I did talk with about this all seemed like you were on board about this. So just if there's something that we could put as far as seeing what speed limit, I know it's not going to cut down on some of it, but maybe just to, hey, you are going too fast.
I think they help a lot.
I think it might help, especially if we can get some grants and some free money from it or something like that.
We've done a little bit of looking into it already, and some of them, I mean, of course, you can buy versions that are very expensive, and there are versions that are much more affordable, and they're powered by little solar panels. So there's just a normal street signpost, and it's got a solar panel on top, a speed limit sign, and then a little square readout with the radar display on it, and they're quite affordable, you know. And so we're looking at that, and we wouldn't need to tie into PUD or anything.
Okay.
Just put it up like any other sign, and it would be ours to maintain. So
okay,
we'll get into it. It's not a bad idea at all.
Okay, all right.
Do you think it would be better, obviously coming down the hill, going westward, but do you think it's necessary eastward?
You know, I see people, it seems like right below my house, I hear them all of a sudden just kind of jumping on, like they'll be going here in one speed, and then all of a sudden it's like as soon as they start getting up towards my house, they really start getting on it and getting going. So, I mean, yeah, it'd be great if we could do both.
I'll add that I'm often up early and the logging trucks go at an incredible speed at 5 a.m. And that's pretty intimidating considering how close to me that I live to. I think if somebody crashed, they could come straight through my yard.
This morning, there was a couple log trucks down there this morning.
Yep, I no longer walk my dog along that street because I think the logging trucks are going too quickly. So it would be nice both ways, I think.
And I know the sheriff's department, the police departments can't be there all the time.
Yeah.
But there's police don't. But just to have, hey, we've identified this problem, and we'd like to let you know that you're speeding and stuff. So.
Well, there
You would think coming from our direction that the railroad tracks would slow them down?
if I don't.
Hardly any.
Yeah, because it used to be a year or so ago that when we saw the sheriff's department in town, they were parked right there in front of our city or our maintenance building, and hit them when they were coming down past your place and down towards the railroad tracks, and people are just flying.
Yeah.
People don't care anymore.
So anyway, this is something to think about maybe.
Good idea.
Okay.
Thank you. We
All right.
appreciate it.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Next for public comment. So Hanson beat you to it.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay, I wanted to give an update on the jail repaint and all that kind of stuff. So, we had a preliminary.
Just one second. I don't think most council members know.
Oh,
Anson was
I'm sorry.
saying that even though he's got 19 things going on, he needed a 20th thing. And so I said, well, how about you take a look at the jail about the refinishing the outside? So. and now
Okay,
here
thank
go.
you.
Yeah.
So an initial preliminary test that was done showed some lead in the paint, and that kind of put everything to a halt. We already obtained all the paint for the jail. We got it donated from Sherwin-Williams. So we've got that sitting in our living room, which is wonderful, by the way. But it put everything on hold until we could figure out the thing. We started getting some quotes in of $10,000 to $20,000 to have somebody just go out and scrape it. That's it, just scrape the paint. And then I talked to a few more professionals, and they said, you need to go have a real test done instead of a little kit test done, because even if there is lead, you need to know how much is in it. So I took a sample to Atlas Labs, which has done all of our testing on everything we've ever done, asbestos and so on and so forth. They've done a great job. Anyway, they confirmed that there was indeed lead. However, it fell below the limit, the threshold. So it was basically a green light to go ahead and do it yourself without having to have a lead abatement company come in and charge 20 grand to do their thing. So I guess we've got the green light to go ahead and do that. So my reason for coming up in here is if you can put word out to anybody, I'll put something on the Facebook group page or whatever that is, asking for volunteers, whoever wants to come out there on a Saturday, maybe next Saturday, not this Saturday, I don't know, whenever, sometime, to help chip this paint off as quickly as possible. Maybe take 2 hours to get enough people. So, and then we'll just go ahead and shoot with paint, and we'll be on our way to making the place look great again. So, anyway, questions?
Do you have a sprayer?
Yeah, which Saturday and what time?
Yeah.
Thank you, make up your mind, say it now online.
Yeah, oh, okay, actually, okay.
Somebody there.
Well, this Saturday, is there anything going on this Saturday? I think you're painting this Saturday.
Well, yeah, I already have one.
You got it?
And I have paint sprayers.
And have them come over to our place when they're done.
I've seen that.
So I wouldn't mind doing it this Saturday. I know it's going to be a scorcher, but if we got started like 9 a.m., then we could probably have it done by 11. So anybody that wants to come by Saturday, 9 a.m., I've got tarps I'm going to lay out. So we're all ready to go. I've got tons of scraping devices. If you want to bring your own, that's fine too. If you have a nice sprayer, I didn't put mine away correctly, so it's all glued up.
I've got one.
Okay, all right, cool.
Don't let him clean it.
We'd have to do that a different day, though.
He won't.
Yeah, we'll do it a different day because scraping one day, clean up, and then it's prep time for tape and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get that going. So anyway, yeah, nice job on the mural too. It looks good. Anyway,
Awesome, thank you.
so that's it.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Great.
that for sure.
Thank you.
Other public comment tonight? Yes.
Hello, I'm Caroline Garabay from Lewis County Public Health and Social Services, and
I'm Erica Marshall from
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Healthcare.
we wanted to share a little bit about an event that we've been planning. It's the Lewis County Opioid Summit. It's open to anybody in the public who wants to attend on Wednesday, September 17th from 9 to 4 p.m. at Centralia College. Lunch will be provided, and we're just going to have speakers there throughout the day. There'll be a variety of different speakers where they'll be essentially talking about just the opioid crisis in our community. And then we'll also have a panel with lived experience members where they'll talk about their journeys through recovery. And yeah, lunch will be provided, and it's free and open to anyone who wants to attend.
And then in the evening, there's going to be a dinner for people, for community members that kind of are able to make a little bit more decisions. And so we're inviting city council members, superintendents, we're inviting the sheriff and Chief Sweet, because he helped plan this, and the police chiefs. And for that one, we're actually going to have Jason Pepper, who is an EMT, and he's going to speak about his perspective of the opioid, how they've been managing the opioid as an EMT in rural Lewis County, and how that has, just how very difficult that has been. We live in a county that is bigger than us, and it's very hard, and it's hard kind of managing everything. And so we really, one of the things that we have found is that Lewis County is so unique and diverse, even within Lewis County, and so we need every voice here to help
Every idea counts. Everyone has a different perspective, and so every idea is valued. Every experience is valued, and so we're hopeful that we can get more people involved so that we can really pinpoint how to deliver services to people, how to make sure that no one else dies from alcohol, from opioids, how we can stop kids from being extremely affected by marijuana use. And so we are really hopeful that people can attend and be a part. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact us, and we're available. So thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
And if you guys would like to RSVP on the Black invitation, it's my email and my phone number. So you guys can either give me a call or send me an email. And if you guys want to attend the day version, there's a QR code where you can register on there. So there's 2 ways to register. I know some people get kind of confused on which is which. But yeah, and if you guys have any questions, also reach out to us. Both of our information is at the bottom of that flyer.
Awesome. Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Of course. We figure these little towns get forgotten.
Sometimes we like that.
I love just being around and doing nothing. I'm working with them.
Thank you. Other public comment tonight? Okay, moving on to city business. I don't think anything on the business tonight is going to be that divisive, so we should be able to move through pretty quickly. Council to consider resolution 06-2025, the 6-year transportation improvement program for 2026 to 2031. Obviously, it's come to council a couple of times in the previous months. It went off to the Department of Commerce for review. There was the waiting period. It was advertised in the paper. Now it's ready for approval.
I make a motion that we approve resolution 06-2025, the 6-year transportation environmental program 2026 to 2031.
The motion by Mr. Parsons to approve resolution 06-2025. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Daly. Any discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, number 2, council to consider professional services agreement for the hearing examiner, Mark C. Scheibmeyer. Mr. Scheibmeyer has been our hearing examiner for a number of years. His contract expired, or is going to expire, and so we need to renew it. We use the hearing examiner for a variety of things, from appeals to different things around the city. If we have an appeal, we don't have any appeals, but also certain reviews as well. Go to the hearings examiner for an outside impartial judge, if you will. So that's why we need one.
I motion that we will do the professional services agreement, hearing examiner.
Scheibmeyer. Motion by Mr. Parsons to approve the personal services agreement for the hearing examiner services. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Mr. Hurt. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 3, council to consider resolution 08-2025, master interlocal agreement with Lewis County. Again, we have an interlocal agreement with Lewis County. If we ever need maintenance in the city that they're able to handle, we can call Lewis County and they can have their public works come down and provide maintenance to us at a very reasonable cost. This master local agreement, interlocal agreement, makes that happen. That is expiring at the end of this year, and so we're just renewing it. We've used Lewis County in the past for a variety of things, chip sealing services, the stormwater line under A Street, and over here by the fire hall. And so it's not very often, but it's good to have the agreement on hand in case we do.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution 082025 with their master interlocal agreement for Lewis County.
Motion by Mr. Daly to approve resolution 0825. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of resolution 08-2025, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 4, council to consider resolution 07-2025, authorizing negotiations of an interlocal agreement with Lewis County for annexation. James is still online for any questions related to that. We did have a meeting with Lewis County last week, the county planner, public works director, our city attorney, of course, our city staff, in our public works were there. Trying to just finalizing, hashing out kind of expectations, namely, what parcels may or may not be considered for annexation, and kind of borders for that proposal. And so I think everyone kind of has a good understanding of other people's wishes, and this resolution just authorizes SBN planning to start negotiations with Lewis County for annexation. Obviously, this is just the beginning of a very, very, very long process with lots of public announcements and notifications and other meetings and whatnot. And so this is just like I said, authorizing negotiation. So, any other questions for SBN?
So it starts negotiations, but doesn't necessarily mean that when they negotiate, they can approve whatever they want. When they negotiate, they have to bring final negotiated.
It's true. Yeah, there's no approvals associated with this. There's nothing set in stone. James, would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, I can speak to that a little bit. I mean, based on our meeting with Lewis County, I think we hammered out some of the, particulars that go into negotiating this sort of thing. I think it'll be relatively straightforward. The county's really eager to have cities annex. That was actually part of the Planned Growth Committee meeting today as well. I will say right now, I don't anticipate much pushback or much alteration of the boundaries besides what's already happened. Based on our meeting with the county, there weren't a lot of additional steps or hoops we had to jump through. Apparently the hoops we have jumped through have been enough up to this point for them. Like you said, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything is approved and every box is checked and we're ready to start announcing everything. But at the same time, I don't really anticipate that there's going to be many setbacks from here on out.
Are we still on track for that July 26th to be completed?
July 26th of next year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't anticipate that this will take that long. By July 26th of next year, my hope is that we're talking about potentially the next phase. Because as part of our initial direction was to annex all of the city's UGA. The county has held firm that we are not to annex any partially covered lot by the UGA. So we've already spoken to them a couple times, including at the Planned Growth Committee meeting today, about UGA swaps, where we would be taking some area from our UGA that's not annexable and moving it somewhere where we can bring some lots in. So this is that, you can consider this phase 1, and then phase 2 is doing a UGA swap and finishing, bringing in the whole urban growth area into Vader.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I make a motion that we approve resolution 07-2025, authorizing negotiations of an ILA with LC and annexation.
We have a motion, Mr. Parsons, to approve resolution 07-2025. Do we have a second?
A second.
Second by Mr. Daly. Any other discussion or questions for James while he's on the line? about this? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of Resolution 07, 2025, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, James.
Great, thanks so much. Have a good night, everybody.
Nice.
Moving on to elected official comments. Any members of the council have any comments tonight?
Yeah, I've got one. It's been brought to my attention that our code enforcement officer has been real busy with inspections and permits and stuff like that. And it was brought to my attention that maybe it's time to look at a part-time code enforcement, maybe a law enforcement officer, maybe 8 hours a week that's on his off days, or a retiree that can continue on with this code enforcement to start getting these code violators taken care of.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Yeah.
You say that, and then I instantly wonder if there's like a service out there, like a private company where you can contract for a certain number of hours. I just wonder if that
The reason I
exists.
thought maybe a law enforcement officer that's on his days off, or a retiree that has dealt with troublemakers, or that they know the correct procedures and going in on it. And maybe the city can afford the 8 hours a week, and that's all they did was take care of the codes to help our city gal here, out.
Should pay for itself. We either get it cleaned up or the penalties pay for them. So it's a win-win.
And it would be nice to have someone whose singular focus is that, right? And so they're not pulled away to fight fires all the time on other projects.
Correct. And if they're just doing the code enforcement, I've had several different people from being down at the car show, Battle of the Bands, at the 4th of July, talked about how we can possibly get the town cleaned up and some of this stuff out of here. So maybe it does bring in new business for us, and people, these houses that Jerry Baker's building and others, that people will be willing to buy them.
Yeah.
So and I think at 8 hours a week to start off with would be a great thing.
We do, have, active code enforcement actions on certain properties already, and we do get feedback from them, and we get some of our demands taken care of. And so it's just not a instant process a lot of time, but there are letters that have gone out.
Do we still have a list? Like, I know that a couple years ago, we had a list of all of the issue houses, because we don't necessarily go out looking for them. It's complaint driven. And do we still have that list, or have we depleted that list?
I don't believe we have a list that we're actively working on. Okay, look into that.
Okay, thank you.
That's a good idea. Other public elected official comments? Okay, hearing none. The last item of city business is an executive session related to potential litigation via RCW 4230-110. This session will last 15 minutes and will reconvene at about 7:16 p.m. I'll ask the public to leave so that the council can hold this private meeting. We will reconvene at the ending of that meeting. However, there is no other city business afterwards, and we will just adjourn the meeting. So no reason to stick around. But if you want to stick around outside, we will announce when we're back. So.
If you want to hear that gavel hit, I guess.
Thank you all for coming.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, folks.
We're going to forward you something right now, by the way, 95 feet.
Okay. If I paid. Oh, sure.
Yep, definitely.
How do people?
Have a good night, Mr. Rubin.
People from joining Zoom during this? No, we don't. We just have to kick them out.
Yeah, you
But we stopped recording, right?
after recording, you can pick them up and then.
But we stopped recording now.
This conference will now be recorded.
The city council is requesting that this executive session be extended for 10 more minutes. We will reconvene at 7:27 p.m.
Talking to someone else.
This conference will now be recorded.
This executive session needs to be extended one more time, another 10 minutes. We'll reconvene at 7:41 p.m.
This conference will now be recorded.
Public has returned, everyone.
All right, that concludes our executive session and our end of our city business. So I adjourn this meeting at 7:41 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.